Now, I mentioned of having the Bible and the Constitution. Well, those are the two bedrocks that form up this great world of ours that we call America. And that's why our morality, our moral values, principles, and our Constitution and our rule of law are the two primary targets that the progressive movement is going against. And they know they have to take those two things down or they can't be successful in their venture. We're going to fight extra hard to make sure that doesn't happen. I talked about the Declaration of Independence. You probably remember from school days and from, stuff you're seeing and reading lately. The first part of that is the common part. The first part of that is the part that you hear the most about. We're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. The pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. Government at the consent of the governed. But beyond that, you start to lose awareness of what's there. If you go through and read the rest of the Declaration, you'll see that the majority of it is an expansion of the grievances that we had as colonies with King George. Step by step by step. We don't like this, we don't like this, and on through the list. Zoom forward to current times. Put it in the context of now. And go through there and you'll see those grievances are still the same to a large extent. King Orb. You say, oh, who's King Orb? That's Obama, Reed, and Pelosi into one king. King Orb has the same grievances against him that we had against King George. 234 years ago, we were able to take those grievances out in the form of a revolution. And we succeeded and established our great country. Now we have a rule of law and we don't need armed force. We will go to King Orb with our grievances on the 2nd of November and have our revolution. I want to tell you a brief story because I think it's a story that is important to today. This story goes back to 1976, and I know that predates some of you, and others of you are aware of what that date was. But in 1976, a young Soviet pilot who was flying the latest Soviet interceptor, the MiG-25, better known colloquially as the Foxbat, that young Soviet pilot by the name of Viktor Belenko defected with his airplane to Japan, and we eventually were able to, of course, go in and look at it and analyze it and tear it apart and get all kinds of good information. And he brought Mr. Belenko back to the United States, where he was given asylum. Now, Victor was raised, he was born in 47, so he was raised under the thumb of the communist regime. That's all he knew. But he had learned to speak English. And he knew that there's this thing over there called the United States that has a lot of promise to it. And so that's why he defected. Well, he came to the United States then, obviously went through a lot of discussions and debriefings and everything else, but he still was a little bit on the hesitant side because he was skeptical. Can you can you really be all this stuff that you say you are when he's lived all his life under the communist thumb and doesn't believe a lot of this?
Yeah.
And so in order for him to talk some more, he said, I want to go out and tour this country. And they said, fine. He said, but I don't want a package tour. I want a car and a driver and a map, and I'll lay out the tour. And I will go along on that tour, and I'll tell you where I want to stop and who I want to talk to. He did that over several months. And he recalls and mentioned to me, and when I heard him talk about it, he pulled up to a farm in Iowa. Said, I want to go up that big farm up there. Went up, talked to him. Came back down finally, and he said, you know what? My government has it wrong. My government thinks they can defeat you. But your people enjoy their freedoms too much, so they can't be defeated. And that's the message that we're giving back now to the progressive movement. You are treading on our freedoms. You're going to have to back off, and we're going to keep those. Well, with that, there's going to be lots of opportunity between now and November for me to have some political rallies with you folks. I'm looking forward to that. And then after January, I'm looking forward to frequent town hall meetings and informal meetings with you on a regular basis. Well, with that, I would like to say thank you very much for listening, giving me the opportunity. I appreciate it. I want to say God bless this country.
Yes. God
bless and preserve and protect our troops in harm's way. And God bless you, the lifeblood of America. Good night.
Thank you, Ed. Miss you.